Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the participants for Gita Gyan seminar in English. Today we are having second session. You are still attending after the first session. That means you got some interest. You must have liked the first. That's why you come for second. And I hope you will be continue to attend all the 6 sessions without missing. So in our previous lecture, we learn about our identity. Who am I? Who am I? What is my identity? So we learn that we are not this material body, we are spirit soul. We learn from the Bhagavad-Gita many text slokas regarding this existence of soul. And we also learn about difference between matter and spirit. So today's our topic is about this material world. What is this world about? What is this world made of? And how it is working? That we will learn, and we will based on Bhagavad Gita, based on the scripture. So let us start our discussion about this world. So just you can imagine if you are sitting on the shore of ocean and you see that there are unending vastness, greatness of ocean. You cannot see far away the bank, other side of the ocean. And if you see in the sky at night, you see the innumerable stars and planets in the sky, and you cannot count. You just think, you just feel that the world is so great. And who is behind this world? Is there anyone who created this vast world? Or it is just by chance? You may think like this. So naturally, that thought comes when you see the greatness of the world. So obviously, there is a person who created, and we term him as God. No doubt about it. And the detailed discussion about God we'll do in later sessions. But we know that the creator is God, obviously. We can call him God, nothing else. So now, let us come to Bhagavad-Gita. What Bhagavad-Gita says about the creation of the world. Text number 7.4, chapter 7, text 4, Krishna says, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhire vacha ankaram iti yamme binna prakritirashtadha. Krishna says that this world is created by 7 different kinds of elements. What are the 7 elements? This world is created by Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether, plus mind, intelligence, and ego. These 8 elements. Through these 8 elements, this world is created. So, the 5 are gross elements. earth, water, fire, air, ether. And three are subtle elements. Subtle means sukshma, mind, intelligence, and ego. Ego means ahankar. Ahankar here we does not mean that somebody is very proud. No, ahankar means our identity. When we feel that feeling is called ahankar, ego. Okay. So whatever you see in this world, whatever object, it is, it is made of these five elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. No elements you can see in the world without of these five elements. For example, if I take this table is also made of earth, the wood. Wood is earth itself. So inside a wood, there is also fire, there is air, there is also space, and anything you burn, if you melt, some liquid will come. So there is water also inside. So five elements are there in every particle of this world. Beside these eight elements, in text number 13.6, chapter 13, text 6, Krishna speaks some more detail about this creation. In that sloka, Krishna says, Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhiravyaktameva cha indriyani dashekam cha pancha chendriya gochara. In this sloka, Krishna says that this world is made of 24 elements. Our body also made of 24 elements. What are the 24 elements? Mahabhutani, Pancha Mahabhuta. Mahabhuta means, Bhuta means material elements. Maha means great. So, five gross elements. Pancha Bhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether, the same which is mentioned previously. So, Pancha Mahabhuta, our body is made of this Pancha Mahabhuta. On our body, there is earth, water, fire, and ether. And what else are there in our body? There are 10 senses in our body. 5 knowledge receiving senses. Knowledge receiving senses, Gyanendriya. And 5 working senses, Karmendriya. What are the 5 knowledge receiving senses? Eye, nose, ear, tongue, and skin, tvacha. These 5 are knowledge receiving senses. And 5 are working senses. What are the 5 working senses? Hands, legs, speech. Tongue has 2 functions. When we put tongue in Gyanendriya, its function is taking food, that is swad. And we put tongue in Karmendriya, speech, speaking. So tongue, hand, leg, and genital and anus. These 5 working senses. So total become 5, 5 and 5, 15. Now 5 are sense objects. That is also there in this world. What are the 5 sense objects? Like eye is receiving knowledge. So what knowledge is receiving is called form, rupa. Ear, sound, shabda. Nose, smell, gandha. tongue, taste, swad or rasha, and skin, tvacha, is touch sense. That means sparsha. Rupa, rasa, gandha, sabda, sparsha. That means form, sound, fragrance, smell, taste, and touch sense. These five sense objects that the same sense object prevails in this world. So that five, total it become 20. And three are man, buddhi, ahankar, mind, intelligence, and ego. Three. And 24th one is the totality of these 23 elements is called Mahat Tattva, Mahat Brahma. So Mahat Tattva is 24th elements. So thus, our body is made of 24 elements, and this universe, this world is also made of 24 elements. Now, uh, actually, we are having two material body. We are having two material body. One is gross material body, which is made of earth, water, fire, and ether. And another body we are having is called subtle, sukshma sarira, made of mind, intelligence, and ego. That is subtle body inside. So we are having two material body. Previously, in first session, we discussed that vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani granati narum. We change soul changing body. Like we change the cloth every day, similarly soul is changing the cloth. So soul is changing the body like we change the clothes. So like we wear inner wear and also wear upper outward dress like coat and jacket. We are also wearing inside inner wears. Similarly, soul is wearing two clothing, two bodies. First covering is about the soul is subtle body, and outward covering is this gross body. So we are having two coverings, soul having two coverings, gross body and subtle body. Like like we are changing the cloth every day, soul is changing the bodies. That we understand. Now, when we are changing the clothes, when soul is changing its body, it is only changing the outward dress. That means gross body. When soul is transmigration, one after another body, soul is going to different bodies, 84 leg species. Okay. That time, soul is not changing the subtle body. Only it is changing the gross body. That means our subtle body, mind, interest, ego, will go with us in our next body. And only gross body will keep here, but our mind, interest, go will go with us. And this is going on since many lifetimes. So our subtle body is same in all the 84 leg species. We have not changed this body. Therefore, the result of this particular function is that we are having experience of all the 24 leg species in our mind. We are having unfulfilled desires of so many lifetimes in our mind. And also we are carrying the deeds, our karma phala for many lives. So when we are changing the body, we are carrying with us in our next body all experience of all the previous life, all the unfulfilled desire of previous life, and also we are carrying our karma phala, our results of our karma in our next life. So we are carrying this life after life after life, this karma phala, because we are having subtle body same with us. Therefore, we see sometime in our dream, we suddenly see something which never ever we saw before, we ever never heard of, never we saw it, but we see in dream. Or some thoughts comes in our mind which actually we have never seen. Why this happens? Because in our mind there is information, storehouse of previous many lives experience is there that sometimes pop-ups, and different thoughts comes which we never think about generally. So that was our transmigration of soul in different bodies with subtle bodies. Now, in text number 7.5, Krishna says, next Loka Krishna says, Apareyam itastvanya prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabahu yayedam dharyate jagat. So Krishna said that mm, this these 8 elements which we just discussed, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, and ego, these 8 elements by which this world is created is my external energy. It is Krishna saying it is my external energy. The sloka goes like this. Bhumi rapo analo vayu kham mano buddhi evacha ahankaram iti yam me भिन्ना प्रकृतिर अष्टधा. मैं मतलब माइंड, भिन्ना प्रकृति, my external, prakriti means nature, energy. It is my external nature or external energy. But besides this, I have another energy, which is my internal energy or my superior energy. What is that? Then it is saying, slok number 7.5, Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam yahabahu jiva bhutam mahabahu yayedam dharyate jagat. Oh Arjuna, this is my external energy, but beyond this there is my internal energy, superior energy. What is that superior energy? Jiva bhutam, the living entity, the soul, the Atma, Jiva, is my internal or superior energy. And this, my superior energy, the soul, is exploiting or enjoying this inferior energy, this material energy. So, we are spirit soul and we are part of God's superior energy. And we are exploiting or enjoying this gross or this material energy, material nature of God. Now, let us just compare these two energy of God. One energy is called uh, external energy, which is earth, water, fire, air, ether, that is external energy. And one is internal, that is soul, the living entity, the jiva. External energy is called inferior, and this internal energy is called superior. External energy is called Bahiranga Shakti. Internal is called Antaranga Shakti. External energy is called Bhautik Prakriti, material energy. And internal energy called spiritual Prakriti, Adhyatmik Prakriti, spiritual energy. So these two energy, okay? Spiritual, superior, internal, soul. Then material, external, inferior, the body or this world. So this world is God's external inferior energy. Okay, having said that, now the next sloka, Krishna says 7.6. Etadayonini bhutani sarvanityupadhara aham kritsnasya jagata prabhava pralayastatha. Krishna says that this entire world is created by this mixing of two energy. Entire world is created by mixing of two energy. These two, the jiva bhuta, the soul, spirit, spiritual, and material, two energy. And because I am the source, I am the owner of this both energy. Therefore, actually, I am the source and owner of this entire world. This logic is understood, no? That Krishna said this earth, water, fire, air, ether, this is my separated energy, my bhinna prakriti, external energy. And the spirit soul is my internal energy. And because I am the source of these both energies, I am the source of the world. So therefore, Krishna is the source of all the spiritual worlds and all the material universes. Krishna is, according to Gita, source of all the material universes, all the spiritual worlds, because he is source of spiritual and material energy. So not this point, just at this point you just note it that Krishna said this is very big statement, but detail we can go later sessions we can go into detail. Therefore, in text 7.7, Krishna concludes, Matta parataram nana kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Krishna said, because I am the source of two energies, I am the source of this entire world, that matta parataram kinchid, nothing is existing beyond me. Nothing can exist beyond me. Means I am the supreme and everything is existing under me. Nothing existing beyond me. As a pulse, the moti, pearls are strung on the garland, thread. Similarly, entire world is existing on me. Krishna is like thread and all the world planets are strung on Krishna, on his energy. This is how Krishna concludes the ownership of this world. Now, uh, we I came across of one interesting interesting PowerPoint presentation. Actually, one of our friend scientist, Nitai Mukhopadhyay, presented me, gave me this. It's called Fantastic Trip, made by one scientist, Born Voyage. So we will watch this for 5 minutes, small video, and after that we will discuss further on that. In this fantastic trip, Born Voyage is traveling from micro to macro. His imaginary traveling beginning from 1 meter, then he's going to 10 meter, 100 meter, 1 kilometer, 10 kilometer, 100 kilometer, 1000 kilometer, and the million kilometer, trillion kilometer, then light year, 1000 light year, 1 lakh light year. So when he's reaching the 1 lakh million light year, there he's seeing the galaxies. That is 10 to the power 23. He's reaching there. From there, he's saying this is the limit of our imagination. Then coming back and going inside. He's going inside the tree. 1 meter, that is the one tree part. Then 1 centimeter. Then is going 1 centimeter, then going 1 millimeter, and micrometer. Like this is going inside and finally reaching to the atom. After atom, nuclear, then electron, proton. And finally, when he's reaching 10 to the power 16, he's coming to quark. And he's saying this quark is limit of our imagination about the matter. And upper limit is our galaxy, about the matter. So in this journey, he concluding with this is research. This is research. In this research, Born Voyage concludes 2 things. One, when he's going to the micro, that is atom and proton and nuclear and then quark, the design structure of the quark and design structure of the solar system, then nebula and galaxy, the structure of that is same. That is first finding he is coming with. And another finding is that he's saying that this is the limit of our imagination. I cannot imagine beyond this galaxy. And downwards, this is the limit of our imagination of matter, that is quark. So from this, I conclude something also from his journey and his research. I concluded few things. First thing is that the scripture says that our body, material body, and the entire universe structure is same. Same structure of our body and the universe. That is what similar what he finding was. And second, I conclude from his findings is that the material science has a limit to go. Beyond quark, it cannot go. That is his saying. And beyond galaxy, it cannot go. Whereas in our scripture, we will go beyond galaxy, we'll go beyond, we'll see just now how will Shastra is going beyond. Shastra, imagination of science is up to galaxy. And Shastra is talking something more about. Similarly, inside, they end up with quark. They cannot go beyond. But our soul is much, much more subtle where we are reaching. One more thing I find is that he is frankly admitting that this is our imagination of matter. That means entire his journey is based on imagination. He has never gone. So our modern science is mostly relies on imagination. You will not, there is no truth in it. There is no truth. He is telling this is our imagination. So whatever findings are there, say for example quark or galaxy, nobody has seen. It's an imagination. So most of the science is based on imagination. Some facts they have found, but other things are imagination. Whereas the scripture will tell you whatever is absolutely correct, precisely correct, and accurate count they will give about anything. You cannot find any defect in the scripture. You will never find. Whereas science, many times we find mistakes because they are imagining. So naturally there will be mistakes. And later on they have to rectify. Many times they present a theory and later on the theory is rectified. So that was one thing. Another thing I find we conclude from his findings is that they are saying that this is the limit of our imagination of matter. So they are going to find or discuss only about matter. They cannot touch the spirit. Spiritual thing they don't know. Okay, now we'll discuss about the same, this universe and this world from the scripture. This was a scientist imagination, the quark and galaxy. Now we'll see from the scripture. In the scripture, in Bhagavad-Gita, there is discussion about this world, this cosmology. It is called cosmology in chapter 8, chapter 15, and chapter 11. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is more detailed discussion about cosmology in Canto 5. Canto 5 fully filled with cosmology. In Brahmanda Puran and Padma Puran also we find a lot of discussion about the creation and this cosmology. So based according to all these scriptures, Gita, Bhagavatam, Padma Puran and Brahmanda Puran, all the scriptures, even Vedas and Upanishad, the world we are living, this has 14 planetary system, 14. So we are living on Bhumandala, Bhuloka. So above us are 7 planetary systems. That is called 7 types of heavens. And below us are 6 planetary systems. That is called 6 patalas. So below we have patala 6 plus our 7, and above is also 7. So total there are 14 planetary systems in our universe. And this 14 planetary system is unique. In any scripture you open of Sanatana Dharma, you will find this description without any difference. No controversy about this. So we are living in Bhumandala, and above this 7, below 7. So these 14 planetary systems makes one universe. Okay. And whatever our science is discussing about galaxy, whatever this and that is, how everything is in this one universe. So this one universe is having its own unique sun, Surya, one universe having one Chandrama, moon, and each universe is having one Brahmaji for creation, one Vishnu, maintenance, and one Shiva for destruction. So this is one universe. Like this, there are hundreds of thousands of millions of universes are floating on the ocean of causal ocean, Karan Samudra. And there in that Karan Samudra, Mahavishnu is lying on that Samudra. on the Seshnag, the bed of snake, gigantic snake, Seshnag. Mahavishnu is floating, and from the core bowl of the Mahavishnu, the universe is coming out. So, this is the greatest concept of the world we are getting from the scripture. And in front of that concept, the finding what we found is nothing. Mm. So this detail about this all the universes and their creation, how they created. This is a big subject. For that, you will have to study uh, Gita entirely. You will have to study Bhagavatam. Then you can know the detail about. If you are interested, you can study. So now there are innumerable universes, or all the universes having their own sun, own moon, their own Brahmaji, Shivji, and Vishnuji, each universe. So there are millions of universes, billions of sun, moon, millions of Brahmaji, millions of Shivji, and Vishnuji in all the universes. Okay. Now, this universe is created by Brahmaji. He is a creator. Creation is done by mode of goodness. Sorry, mode of passion, Rajoguna. So creation is done by Rajoguna, mode of passion. And maintenance of this universe is done by mode of goodness, Sattva Guna, by Lord Vishnu. And the destruction of this universe is done by Shiva, mode of ignorance. So Sattva-guna, mode of goodness, is maintenance. Rajoguna, mode of passion, is creation. Tamoguna, mode of ignorance, is destruction. Okay. So Brahma for creation, Vishnu for maintenance, Shiva for destruction. Generally, we say, sometimes people use this word God, G-O-D. G for generator, creator, O for operator, matlab maintainer, D for destroyer, the destruction. So these three function. Now, this entire world is controlled by these three modes of nature. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Tamagun, Satagun, Rajagun. Three gunas are controlling entire world. In this world, everyone, each and every person is actually being controlled by these three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. And all the particles of this world are made of these three subtle modes. These are the gross elements: earth, water, fire, etc. But the subtle, the controller is these three modes. Therefore, Krishna telling in this 7.14, Prakrite kriyamānāni gune sarvāni gune karmāni sarvasya ahankādam vimulatma kartam iti manyate. The Prakriti, the material nature, is doing all the activities, is uh, executing all the activities of this world by three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. But ahankara vimudatma karta iti mannate. But due to false ego, the soul, the living entity, think that I am the doer. Therefore, they are conditioned, bound by this world. So the problem is we are superior nature, spirit soul, but we are controlled and bound and conditioned by this inferior material nature. And how we are bound? By these ropes of three modes of material nature: goodness, bliss, and ignorance. Now, how these three gunas modes are functioning, how exactly we are bound, how to get out of these three modes in this body, that will be discussed in Bhagavad-Gita in future sessions. So hope you will be there to learn the detail in future sessions. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is a quiz immediately right now, and you do the quiz and you get instantly result you will get after doing the quiz. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. I hope you come for our next session. Hare Bol.